Hi everyone, this is Abdul here. How are you guys doing? So, in this video, I'm gonna tell you about how to create a new machine which is running with Linux operating system. So, I am going to create it on my laptop. So, I already have Windows 10 OS. So, my Windows 10 OS will not be affected because I'm going to create it as a virtual machine. So to create it, so in our case, I'm going to create a Red Hat Linux machine. So I have already downloaded the Red Hat ISO image and I have kept it here. Under F colon argachil images, I have kept it here. And then I'm going to create a Linux virtual machine on this VMware workstation. So you should have the software installed on your laptop. So let's proceed to create. So I have to click on File, New Virtual Machine, and I go with the default options. So this I'm just doing for my lab purpose. So see here already have we could see that under F colon it is already pointing to the ISO image. If it is not pointing, you just go to a browse and you can see under F4HL here whatever version I have Ubuntu, CentOS and Red Hat. So I'm going with Red Hat. Click on open, click on next, and it's asking for the name. So let me give my name. So as it shows like it is gonna use this password for both the Abdulatif user account and for root account. I'm fine with that. Click on next and here you can click on next and here we specify the disk for the operating system and by default it's showing as 20 GB. At anyway let me make it as 88 GB and the rest I'm going with the default options and it takes 2 GB of memory. Let me change it. I am happy with 1 GB. So when I click on the customize hardware, it gives an option to change it. So I'm going with 1024 MB, which is 1 GB. Click on close. So we can see now memory is showing as 1024 MB. So we have already pointed the ISO image. So I need this option to be ticked. Power on this virtual machine after creation. So that once we have clicked on the finish, it will power on and it will boot to the ISO image. So as you can see now, so it has created a machine and it is booting from the ISO image. So generally the installation will take some time. So we just need to be patient for the installation to be completed. And once the installation has been completed, then we can connect to the server and I will be showing you some of the basic Linux commands. So I'll be putting the microphone on mute for some time. You can just keep watching what is happening on the screen. And by the way, if you go to Google, you can easily download the ISO images for Ubuntu, or if you need Red Hat, or if you need CentOS or Kali Linux. So you can just search in Google and you can get the ISO images. So in our case, since I need Red Hat, so I have selected Red Hat in the ISO option. So let us see, like, so this is the current screen. Let me just see. Generally, KDump is needed in case of production systems since we are creating it for a temporary purpose. I really don't need this KDump, but anyway, it doesn't give me the option to change. I think it has started the installation. Let me see. I thought of disabling the KDump, but it's very fast and it has gone to the next step. So it's showing something like starting package installation process. So the installation is going on. In the meantime, it is asking us to set the root password. Let me set the root password. Sorry guys, so actually I forgot, like already we have set the root password at the time of creation. So let me create an additional user on this server. So if you want to make him as administrator, you just need to tick the box. Otherwise, you can leave it as it is. I will make him as administrator. So I mentioned in user creation as in user named Abdul has to be created and it is showing as administrator Abdul will be created. So since I have selected the option to make him as administrator, so the installation is going on. See here you can see the current status. It's showing as out of 571 packages currently 178 has been installed. So it keeps increasing. So once all the 571 has been installed, it will ask us to do a restart of the server, and then we can so after restart we can connect to the server through Putty. There is no need to connect through this console because it's in a real-time environment. Everyone would be using the Putty because it's very easy and if to copy and paste commands and for a lot of things, and even we can capture the log. Suppose if you are typing 100 commands in a day and you are getting some output, so if you want to see what are all commands you have typed in today, maybe on a different day, if say for example if in case you are doing some 100 commands today is Saturday, you have typed around 100 commands on Saturday, again you come back next week by Tuesday and you want to see what are the 100 comments you have typed on Saturday. So in Putty we have an option to capture the session. So when you enable the session, you can so all the comments which you typed on Saturday would be saved. So it would be saved as if in the format of notepad. So I will just show you once the server is up. I will show you how to enable the session login in Putty. In a real-time environment, we could see like it is one of the best practice to keep the logging enabled in Putty because we should be aware of what are the commands we are typing and what is the output. Suppose say for example you are typing a command and if you're getting an error, so the log would be saved. So it's always a best practice to enable logging in Putty. So maybe once you guys work for a company, you could see that all the system administrators they would be enabling the option of logging in whenever they log into your server. So considering the length of the video, so I would be pausing the video for some time because otherwise the file length would be too big. So let me pause the recording for some time. I will let you know once all the packages are installed. And also regarding the software which we are using, I mean, this VMware workstation, you can create as many as Linux machines you want, and even you can create a virtual Windows machine as well here. You just need to point the ISO image of the Windows. So there are many softwares available in market to create a Linux machine on your laptop. Say we had something called Oracle VirtualBox. Using that also you can do the same. And currently I am using this VMware workstation. So all these softwares, it's there is no need for you to pay. You can just go and download from the Google. So generally they give you a trial version, and so it would be like, I believe trial version would be there for around 60 days, I believe. But Oracle VirtualBox, I don't think there is I don't think you will need to pay for it, because I have installed Oracle VirtualBox on my laptop and it has never asked me to give the license key or something. But I believe VMware, it may ask you to, I mean, once the 60 days period is over, it may ask you to upgrade. But anyway, it's since it is for lab purpose, there is no need for you guys to pay and buy it. So you can just create a machine in Oracle VirtualBox and you can practice all the commands whichever you need. So generally, I would recommend all of you guys to learn Linux, because now most of the companies are moving towards cloud, and most of the companies are using Linux machines for their infrastructure because Linux is very stable. So I would definitely recommend you guys to learn Linux. Even I am from a different background. I have worked on AIX operating system, and later I got a chance to learn the version of Linux, such as in my old company I had this Red Hat Linux. So I would definitely recommend you guys to learn Linux, because Linux is something which is widely used in most of the cloud environments. So once the machine is created, so we would be running a lot I will be showing some basic commands, and I would tell you like how to connect to the server through Putty. So in our case, the server will come with an IP address. So you just need to note down the IP address, and you have to give the IP address in the Putty session. And once you give the IP address, it will ask you for the user ID and password. And since we are creating this machine, we know the user ID and password, so we can log in with those credentials. And also, if you guys have any doubts, you can just put it in the comment box. Like whenever I'm free, I will be definitely replying to you guys. Basically, I'm also working in a company, so whenever I'm having some free time, I'm creating these videos. So just let me know, like if you have any doubts, I will try to reply to you guys. And as you guys know, in market as of now, we have different versions of Linux. One is Red Hat Linux, another one is SUSE Linux, Ubuntu, CentOS. So we have various versions of Linux. Other than these, if you consider the base as Unix, because all of these, for all the operating system, the base is Unix. So IBM had developed an operating system named AIX. So it will run only on the system B hardware. Similarly, the company Red Hat has developed a Red Hat Linux. So similarly, I would say HP has developed a product named HP Unix, and Sun Microsystems has developed a Unix product named Sun Solaris. So if you say, for example, if you are working on a for a bank, and if they have mixed, if they have their infrastructure, they will not generally, as far as I have seen. So all types of servers will be there. Some may be HP Unix, some may be Red Hat Linux, some may be Solaris. So it is up to the sales team, like how they sell the servers to the bank. So in a real-time world, see, we are all accessing applications. See, say for example, now all of us are using YouTube. Facebook, and a lot of websites we are accessing on a daily basis. Do you know like how we are able to access it? Because at the back end, somewhere at some place, a server is running. We are accessing the server, and because of that only we are able to access those websites. And also guys, always keep in mind a server administrator is not an easy task. It is one of the critical tasks. So all the company's critical information will be saved on the servers. So you should make sure that we are not removing any files by mistake. So a server admin is one of the critical part of the infrastructure team. So everywhere we have a powerful user. Say for example in Windows we have administrator user. Similarly in Unix based systems we have the root user. So whenever we are logging in as a root user, we should be very careful because root user is a super user and it can be even used to destroy the entire operating system. So we should be really very careful whenever we are using the root user. In a real-time environment, we will not be logging with root user directly because everyone say for example if my name is Abdul, I would be given a user ID with my name or with my employee number. Similarly, if we have another user named Abraham, so he would be having his own individual user ID. So no one would be using the root user in a real time unless or until it is needed. And root user password would be separately saved and kept in a centralized location. So we can access it only if we have the approvals. So even if I am a Unix admin, I can't just go and take the root password just like that. I need to go through some process, some kind of process to get the root password. Because the root, as I told you, root user is the super user. So whenever we are using root user, we should be very careful with what are the commands we are running. Yeah, regarding the installation of this machine, currently it is the current step is showing as performing. It's got changed. It's showing as installing bootloader. We will wait for some time. So I will pause the video and I will again show it to you once the installation has been completed. See, in our case, once I powered on the machine, so it has immediately selected all the default option and we have just gone with the default option. The only thing I changed is the size of the hard disk. So I will show you like once the server has been booted, I will just show you like which hard disk we have selected, and we will also add some new hard disk in the upcoming videos. And I will tell you like how to create a file system, how to create, how to extend an existing file system, how to remove a file system, and all of that. And also for a server admin, he always has to make sure that the servers are patched and upgraded to the latest level. Say for example, every now and then the companies would be releasing the new version of servers. Say for example, if we case of Windows, in our laptops we initially had Windows XP, then we had Windows 7, Windows 8. Currently we are running with Windows 10. I believe Windows has already stopped the support for Windows 7. So whenever the older version gets outdated, so the companies would not be supporting them. So those are called as EOL. EOL stands for end of life. So it is always the same is the case in Linux. So whenever Red Hat releases a new patch, we have to inform about the new patch to the application teams. We have to get the downtime. We have to upgrade. See, generally in a real-time environment, the patching cycle would be something like first they would be stopping the application. Say for example, if there is an application named SAP is running, they would be stopping the application. Then, so that would be done by the SAP team. The second step would be like the system admin team, I mean the Linux team, they would be upgrading the operating system to the latest level. So once it is upgraded, they will restart the server, and they will confirm that even after restart, the server is has the server has, I mean they will, after restart, they will confirm to see whether it is showing up with the latest level. And once it is in the latest level, then we will inform the SAP application team to start their applications. So generally, this is how the patching cycle will go. Suppose if in case after the upgrade, the SAP team is not able to start the application, then they may ask us to roll back. So we should always have a rollback plan with us. Whenever the application is not working after upgrade, we have to roll back to the older version. Anyway, I will tell you all of that in the upcoming videos. See, as you can see, my server, this is the console, so it has come to this place and it is asking me to enter the password, I mean the user ID and password. So I'm just giving the, since I know the root password, I'm just giving it here. So if you want to see the IP address assigned to your machine, you can use this command IP space R. So in this output, I will tell you which is the IP address. So as you can see from the output, so 192.168.42.131. So this is the IP address of the server. So I can use this IP address and I can connect to the server using Putty. So for Putty, you just download it from Google and you can install it on your machine. So I have this. See, this is how Putty looks like. You just search in Google as download Putty for Windows and you can get it. So I'm just double click on it and I'm gonna give the IP address. Just paste it, enter. So it will ask us the user ID and password. So generally there is no need to use root since it is for a lab purpose. I am using it. So this is so now I have logged into the server. If you want to, if you run the command uptime, it would show like since the server is powered on just now, it is showing us 3 minutes. If you want to see the file systems which are present on the server right now, run this command th-htp. So these are all the file systems slash dev slash boot. These are the ones which came now. And if you want to say see the host name of the server, you can run host name. Since I haven't specified anything, it took the name as localhost, but even we can change it to our own choice. And regarding the putty logging session, what you need to do is if you want the output of all the commands, right click, change settings, go to logging, select as printable output. Okay, all session output, browse. You just save it in a file. Let me show you. See in desktop, I have a folder named AMPM. So this one, let me do like I will save these. Give the name as logs log. I have given many as logs.log. All session output should be there always up until the end of it. Okay, so you make sure you have done all these, and then in the window, yeah, make sure you have this. Generally what I do is, because it's the number of lines of scroll back, I just give after 2 I give a big number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Click on apply. Okay, so this is how I set it down. All session for the logging under desktop AMPM directory, I have pointed a file. So let me click on apply. So now see, whatever commands I type now, it would be, see, I know there is no command like I, but I'm just giving it just to show you guys. Say for example, now I give up time. I'm doing something like DMID code. So I have ran this command now. If I want to see the manufacturer, I'm just giving DMID code pipeline grip hyphen product. So it shows this is, since we have done created it on a VMware, it is showing us VMware virtual platform. So all these commands would be saved on the notepad. Let me just go there and we will see. So on AM PM, right, that's the directory where I have put the files. So here see, we can see the file has been created, logs. When you just open it, see, I just typed the command I it and it shown, and then the uptime DMID code. So whatever commands going forward you are gonna type, it will be saved here. I mean, it will be saved up to the time you ran the up to the time you ran all the commands on this putty. Once you close the putty, then the logging will get stopped. And if you want to see the version of operating system which we have installed, you could see using this command red hat hyphen. So we have installed this version now, Red Hat Linux Enterprise Server Release version 7.5. Okay, so this is to you see the version of the Linux, and generally you can run the command uname. It will also show which operating system you have. And then if you want to see the kernel version, you could do something like uname-r. This is the kernel version. So as of now, we have created a server, and we can see that the server is up now. The uptime is 7 minutes. Say for example, if I am just leaving this machine on, I am not going to shut down my laptop. I'm just going to leave everything on. Say for example, I am leaving it just like that without switching off. I am leaving it for 10 days. So when after 10 days, when you come and run the command uptime, you could see the uptime would be showing us 10 days. Uptime is generally that count, I mean the number of days the server is running without any interruption. So that's it guys. So we have created a Red Hat Linux machine now successfully. So if you like this channel, you can please go ahead and you can subscribe it. So I will also be posting some more videos related to Linux, and also I am planning to put some videos on shell scripting. So please like if you like this video, and thanks for watching guys.